Convoy Roy, hello. Thanks for joining. Good evening to you. Well, I was thinking about doing some characters. I just want to get everything set up. It all takes time. Okay. How are you doing, Convoy Roy? I like that name. It's a cool name. Alright, probably starting something new. This is a guy I was working on the other day, a little bit yesterday. It's kind of getting a little too, I don't know, too precise with it. I wanted to keep it real loose, but I didn't. Hello, Tattoo Eric. Thanks for joining. Thank you. Probably work on something different, though. A new one, a new character. Let's see. want to see how much I can push this beard. Hello, guy's name I can't pronounce. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello, Frozen... Oh, Frozen Pizza, the famous Frozen Pizza. How are you doing, man? Good to see you again. Tokyo Nova, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Oh no, does Coolris crash Photoshop for you? It sucks. Cow from Paris. Did I say that right? I probably didn't say that right. Are you saying hello? Well, hello from California. Trying to make a little bit more stylized character this time. I'm trying to get better at pushing, exaggerating forms. We'll see. Oh, hello. Okay, good. I still probably said it wrong. That's right. They did such a good job in How to Train Your Dragon that it's like forever now if anyone does a cartoony Viking looking dude, it's just gonna look like that. right? But maybe I'll put some big spikes on them, make them a little bit more aggressive in some ways, right? And maybe that'll pull it away. Well, thank you, Jay, for coming in. How's your day going? Oh, great. You've been enjoying the brushes. Well, enjoy. That's awesome. You making some new work with it? Not sure how I want to do his hair. Yeah, the virtual plein air. That's good. I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's a really fun practice, and it's not too difficult since you have your reference and your source material right in front of you. You know, you're just using your basically your perceptual skills to paint it, but then you can have fun with it, right? And you can exaggerate and push color, or try different methods, or try different brushes. It's just a good warm-up practice. So yeah, I'd recommend trying it. It's probably a good way to break into doing more environments. I would say that's a really good way, a really good place to start. Ooh, these ears are not quite right. More beard. Frozen Pizza asks, how do you rotate your brushes? rotate my brushes. So like with this brush that I have right here, it's set to pen tilt. So if you go to shape dynamics, angle jitter, the control you set to pen tilt. Depending on how I tilt the pen, that's how I that's how I make the different marks. That's why I use this brush a lot for just sketching, because I'm able to control it like I would a marker. So it's all just within the pen. Oh, okay. Well, good luck with that, Jay. Sounds cool. You should, if you post it up somewhere, let me know. I'd love to look at it. See if I can spot my brushes in there somewhere. Put a little bit of shine and a little bit of lighting on this face. Maybe on the right side here. Just a little bit of some rim lighting. I'm going to try my hardest not to noodle too much or get into too much detail. Whenever I do that, then it starts to fall apart. I was kind of running into that with the other character that I just showed. I wonder what kind of weapon he should have. Maybe an axe? Seems like an axe kind of guy. He needs more fur. I really want to fill out the shape. I kind of want him to be just a big square, his overall silhouette. And that's kind of the first thing I think about when I'm doing these characters, especially if I'm going to exaggerate. I'm just going to make them a big square or a big rectangle. I don't know, if you guys have any suggestions, let me know. So I was wondering, what do you guys do when you watch live art streams like this? Are you doing art as well, or you guys eating lunch or dinner? Curious. Oh, okay, cool. So you're painting as well. Yeah, alright, that's cool. Don't let me interrupt you. Oh, you're writing a paper? Oh, what are you studying in school? Thank you, Scribbly Scribbles. Appreciate it. Helpless, SNEUW, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you much. Appreciate it. piece of metal. I'm not even sure. I see this on armor all the time. This little this metal coin. I don't know what else to call it. On the side of a shoulder pad. I see it all the time, but I actually don't even really know what it's for. I think it's some sort of clasp. But I just sort of put it there just 'cause. Because that's what you do. Oh no, it's 1:20 a.m. Well, thank you for joining. Instead of sleeping. Hopefully the soothing music and my soothing voice will put you to sleep. Oh, it's like painting with a friend. Yeah, it's funny. It's that's always like art school, right? In high school. No, it's like art class in high school. Sorry, it's like art class. I always felt like art class was the best in school because that was like the most social time. Everyone just sits around and talks and works on their project. And you get that in art school too, like when people are doing homework together. Since I've been out of school for a long time, I guess this is maybe a return to some of that. Human and computer interaction, Joe? That's what you're... Oh, that's cool. Seems really advanced. I mean, there's some human and computer interaction happening right here. Digital painting. Creating art on the computer is probably one of the more human things you can do on a computer, right? Or is your studies about cyberbullying and stuff like that? Social media and how it's collapsing civilizations right now. This clasp here, yeah, it might hold the cape, since the cape doesn't normally wrap around the front of his neck. It would get in the way of his beard, right? So yeah, it's probably some clasp that holds like both the shoulder pads and the cape together. Yeah, that's a good point. I get it. Maybe you should have a man skirt. Maybe you should show some leg. Maybe not. I don't know about that. When did I realize I wanted to be an artist? How did I start? I guess I started making art very, very young. Very, very young age. I can't even remember a time when I wasn't drawing or creating art of some sort. I was always doing it when I was little, right? I guess in high school is when I really decided that I really wanted to do it. And I pursued going to art school after. Then Scribbly asked me if I went to art school, and yes, I did. I went to Columbus College of Art and Design. That's in Columbus, Ohio. Yeah, very exciting. And I was a fine arts major there. So I didn't even really do digital painting. I just did oil painting and graphite drawing. I have some of my earliest memories of like being in elementary school or even younger than that and drawing something and just people getting really amazed by it. And I guess that high you get off that as a little kid, you know, being accepted in a certain way, it just kind of sticks with you, right? And then that carries on as you get older, and being a little bit more of an introvert, it kind of helps. It's that escape, right? You can just sit down by yourself and draw or do some artwork and don't have to deal with people. You know, that might be part of it as well. Yeah, and like I said about high school, like art class was always the fun. You can be social class. Everyone's kind of working together and talking together. I guess I always liked that environment. So maybe that's part of it too. On some subconscious level, right? Oh, Jay, you're saying the thing that bothers you is when shoulder pads float. There's a real reason for that, and it has a lot to do with the character systems, because usually that happens in games like MMOs or RPGs where you can customize the size of your character. Like you can make a real big dude, a real skinny dude, or lady. And then there's also multiple shoulder pieces, so different shoulder pads and stuff that you can get. And they all need to work with each other. And sometimes if you have a really big shoulder pad on a skinnier character model, it's got to float. And there's always a fear in game design where people don't, like a lot of designers and tech artists don't want the shoulder pads to interpenetrate through the head or whatever, because it'll do that, because you know it is a stiff piece of geometry that they're putting on the side of the character, and a lot of times you do get some interpenetration. And it looks silly, and a lot of designers and tech artists and character artists, they want to avoid that as much as possible, so they have it float a little bit, and I guess that's kind of the trade-off. They're not, like, all the systems aren't really physically based, so they can't really approximate exactly how shoulder pads are going to sit. They can only get it close. Right, yeah, if they make a system where the the upper torso piece and the shoulder pads are together, sometimes they have a better result. Yeah. Oh, hey Tintin. How are you doing? Lynn, I don't know, she just walked away. And Mochi, I don't know what Mochi's doing either. He's probably barking at something. Say hi to Tintin. Hi. Hi, hi. He's barking at something. Mochi's our dog, by the way, for those who don't know. He's a Corgi, so he's super cute. And maybe if he walks by, I'll pick him up so y'all can have a look. I don't know, now I'm starting to do that thing where I'm picking at one thing for too long. I need to start moving on. It's okay, we're all a little socially awkward. I've been working in games for a long time, and most everybody that works in games is somewhat socially awkward. That's fine. You just lean into it. Oh, there he is. You want to put him on the camera? That's fine. Here, come closer. Come closer. This way. Oh, that's Mochi. Hello. Say hello, Mochi. Look this way. Okay. That's it. They're all like, hi, Mochi. Something about these legs. Just not right. Should be a little shorter. Let's do this. I'm thinking this needs more spikes. How tiny should I make these feet? Or maybe should he have a peg leg? So in this leg, this foot should have a lot of mass to it. And a really massive axe. I usually don't go big enough with this stuff if I'm trying to exaggerate. It's like I'll do an exaggerated character, but then everything on him is so normal. And that's a problem. When should I know when my painting is finished? You keep zooming in and on, or in and out, and keep refining detail and spend too much time on it. I mean, I guess there's nothing wrong with being a perfectionist, right? It's not typically a negative attribute, but it can kill a painting, right? Just like I'm talking about here with this character, I'm trying really hard not to go into detailing. I was doing that a little bit on this strap here, this armored strap on him. Typically I like to, I would stay zoomed out like this and make sure the painting is working at a distance. Now, different areas like the focal areas, like say his face here, I could spend a lot of time creating a lot of detail on the face, but as long as I don't break that good read that I have at a distance, I think that's the most important thing. Same thing with any composition or environment. As long as your painting has good focus, right? I think that's the most important thing. And that focus really just kind of depends on what you want to achieve with the painting. That's what makes personal work for me sometimes difficult, because at work, or if I'm doing stuff for a client, like I know the question that needs to be answered, but if I'm doing personal work, it's just like I could go on forever, because there is nobody outside of myself telling me what needs to be done, so I could just keep going and going and going to an obsessive amount. And sometimes it's fun to see how far that goes, see how far down you can go with that. But a painting is done to find out when a painting's done is just when it's done. I don't really have any good explanation for that. Gwendy B, thank you for following me. Really appreciate it. A painting is done when a painting is done. I guess when it answers the question that you set out to answer, when the deadline comes around, if you're working for a client, when you're asked to just work on something else, or when you get tired of it, if it's personal work. And I think it's good to maybe establish a goal when you're creating an image, especially if it's for personal work. Like if you're doing a study, don't just do the study for the sake of doing a study. Do a study because there's something you want to achieve or understand. And once you felt you've got that and you've achieved it, or you understood the thing you were setting out to understand, then you're done. Like with these guys, these characters that I want to do is just, I want to try pushing exaggeration a little bit. I want to keep it loose, but still have a nice clear read at a distance, with somewhat realistic lighting and texture, but still very loose and painterly. So, I mean, it's also well within my comfort zone, so I can just keep going. But that's a really tough thing to answer, because it just so much depends on what you're doing and what you're trying to achieve. Yeah, I don't really zoom in much, especially early on in the painting. Even much later in the painting, I don't really zoom in that much. Maybe if I have to get something very precise in there. It's tough to say, yeah. Thank you so much, Gwendy B. I'm excited to do more streams myself. It's fun. It's actually relaxing. It gives me an excuse to do more artwork at home too. Actually, I needed to do this stream because I was working on a new YouTube video that's taking forever, and I don't like how long it's taking. Honestly, this arm's not right. Yeah, editing a video, cutting it together, and being concise is very difficult. So it's taking a long time. Hey Tyler, did I ever directly study human anatomy? Well, studying human anatomy is doing it through brute practice. You know, and I think those are one and the same. I did take formal anatomy classes in college, both for drawing and also a more science-based anatomy class, where it was like gross anatomy. And we cut up cadavers. That was fun. And I got to draw the cadavers too. And then I also took anatomy classes specifically on human anatomy for drawing, and I've watched lots of people's videos, Gumroad's, Schoolism, courses on anatomy, CGMA. While I was teaching there, I was able to watch some of their videos, and just, you know, great content that people put up on YouTube sometimes about anatomy, and yeah, literally just drawing the human figure as much as possible. When I was in school, actually, that was basically my major, was doing oil painting and drawing of live study models, like actual live models. That was pretty much all I did. I think I took life drawing at least one class every semester, though, for pretty much the entire time I was in art school. And then when I left art school and I started working, I continued to take more life drawing classes. And didn't stop until kind of recently, until I moved out to California, and I haven't done a single life drawing class since I moved out to California, which is sad. I know. Especially when Watts Atelier is down here, and there's so many good opportunities to take good figure drawing. I still have not done it. Just been busy. No excuse, I know. Do I still have some of my oil paintings? As a matter of fact, yes I do. I have a closet full of oil paintings. I was just saying that telling my wife that I kind of want to throw them away because I don't know what to do with them. They're like life size, and I don't know what to do with them. I actually almost threw them away when I moved away the first time, when I got my job, and my friend talked me out of it. And now I'm stuck with it. Stuck with all these old paintings. I'm just not really sentimental at all about old artwork. I typically just hate everything I do the minute I'm finished with it. Show us sometime? I don't know that I'm gonna show that. Like the closet right behind me is where they're all sitting. I'm not gonna go through that. I used to have them up on my blog, but I got rid of them from the blog. Will it ever see the light of day? Oh, I'm clearly not afraid to show my failures. I do it all the time. I even live stream my failures, like last week. I don't care at all about keeping things super curated. The reason why I just don't bring those paintings out because they're just big and they're all wrapped up, and it's gonna take an hour just to get them all out, and I don't really have the physical space. I have photographs of them somewhere, but just it's pure laziness that keeps me from doing anything with those. I just keep them in the closet where they're safe and they'll never come out. I don't know what I wouldn't even know what to do with them. Like, could you sell them somewhere? Like, I don't know. And who would want portraits of people that they don't know? Yeah, it's good to look at your old work and just see where you improved. That is a really good thing to do. I agree. I even do that, you know, my blog spot, which is ancient, I still post on there. And I've been posting on there since I was in college. Since like my senior year in college. That's when I made it. And it's funny to see my really old digital paintings. It's really hilarious. And it's not hidden. It's, you know, it's totally out there. There's people that follow it. And you can see my old bad paintings. I always really appreciate it when I can find artists that I like, when I can see their old work. I like seeing that because it's hilarious to see where they came from and how they change and like where that sort of that turning point came for their, you know, in their lives. So I think it'd be fun to leave that stuff there forever, just so if anyone finds it, they can laugh at it. I probably share too much as it is. I could curate a little better. Sometimes like you see someone's artwork and you see some not so great pieces, you're like, your total overall opinion kind of is lowered. I don't know. Out of curiosity, what streams have I considered failures? Well, I was pretty public about last week's stream when I was doing the Dead Space painting that it was actually a painting that I was gonna abandon. I worked on it the day before and was having a lot of problems with it. I still don't think like it worked out how I wanted it to, but I still streamed, talked about it, and even shared it. It's not something I would ever put in a portfolio. I guess what I wanted to achieve from it, I didn't really achieve that, so that's why. Oh, I should sell my paintings. Who would buy portraits of people they don't know? Or a giveaway is good idea if you want to pay for the shipping. Yeah, maybe some other stream. I don't really. Maybe if I happen to get them out and I'm streaming, I'll just. And somebody's really curious, right? Thank you, Anju. Glad you're enjoying the videos. I was only really pumping them out because I had some time. I have less time now, so they're gonna be probably coming out at a slower speed, slower pace. Plus I'm experimenting a lot, and I just had fun experimenting with different videos. Just seeing what works, what's easy for me, and what's good for which ones people enjoy. So I always like to hear what you guys think. Alright, now I'm laboring this axe a little too much. Not really paying attention to what I'm doing. Put some chevrons on this belt. And we're getting close. I'll probably start a skinny guy to balance out the fat guy. Or should he have 2 shoulder pads? Not sure what I should do. Am I self-taught? That's a good question. I did go to art school, but then I'm trying to think, what did I learn in art school? Am I self-taught? Well, when it comes to digital painting, sure, I guess. I don't know. I did go to art school, and I had some good teachers. Some good teachers. Not many, and I really don't like this shoulder strap, and I'm gonna get rid of it. I figure if you just do something enough, eventually you'll get there, right? Well, it's not that simple. Ooh, fabric folds. Scary. If I paint fabric folds over and over and over again, I'll eventually get it. Just like legs, which is my big struggle. So there probably should be some sort of strap, right, to hold up the shoulder pads? Or at least like one of these kind of things. But it's not beefy enough. I need something beefy. Something like this. Oops. Okay, Mala, thank you so much for joining. Always good to see your name pop up in the chat. You feel that way about your art school as well? Yeah, I don't know. I taught at an art school. I taught at Micah. And there were some students that I just told them, hey, you should drop out. You're not going to get anything from here. While I was teaching there. I was like, yeah, you should probably just not be here. Like, you're good enough to just move to California and then try to make it as a viz dev artist or... Because it's a lot of money. Oh, it's so much money. What brush am I using? From my brush set, it's this, I don't know if you could see, it says 125. Just this brush, I don't know. Just use the one for sketching. Oh, did your teacher say the same thing? It's good advice, and there are times when I was like teaching, and there was just a student that's not really giving a shit, not really trying, and I was like, you do realize every time you decide not to come to this class, that's like thousands of dollars, literally thousands of dollars, that you're kind of just wasting. And you know, guess what? They pay me to be here whether you're here or not. Like, I still get paid. Like, you're wasting thousands of dollars, so it's like, why are you even here? What's the point? Let's make this lighting consistent around his chubby arm. I'd say I would say the benefits of going to art school is that you have a lot of people that are like-minded. And for me, I had a lot of friends that were interested in getting into entertainment design or concept art for games. So I don't know, it was nice to have that group where we can all like push each other. Yeah, I think that's the most positive thing you can get from art school. We would each like buy a different Gnomon video because that's all there was really, and then we would share it between us because that's all we had. Our school, like CCAD, was really behind. I don't know what's going on with them today, but they were really behind at the time in terms of entertainment design and stuff like that. So we sort of had to learn on our own. And plus I was already just a fine arts major. I wasn't, there was no entertainment design major or anything like that. So I pretty much had to learn that outside of school. But it worked out. All of the friends that I had, where we all push each other, we're all working, either between working on movies or games or animation. Like everyone's, that's their full-time job now. So I guess it worked out. Yeah, friends and contacts. I still keep in contact with all of them, and that is the best thing about art school. But like today, it's so different. Like the climate on that stuff is so different. Like you could go to Concept Design Academy, you could go to Brainstorm School, you could go to just name it. I mean, you could learn online through Schoolism, and it's pretty good. It's better than what you get from an art school, and then it's like way cheaper than art school. So, I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer, to me at least. Oh yeah, and CGMA. CGMA is cool. I recently quit teaching at CGMA. That's why I said that. Oh, Josh, yeah. Yeah, I do know about that. Sometimes, like, people go into game art design, but, like, there's so many facets to game design, right? There's so many jobs. Like, almost every creative field could have some part in game design. So, like, putting that general of a name on it is kind of a disservice, because, like, let's say you do want to learn concept art. Well, you might not be heading down that road because they'll want you to learn how to make props in Maya or Max, you know. Plus, there's also animation. You could do sound design. You could do programming, which is not art related at all. And it would still be a gaming type of major. And nobody does all those things at once. Well, maybe unless you're like an indie developer, but I'm not sure what I'm doing with this. Oh, yeah, sorry. Twitch chat. Oh, of course. No, I can see. It's just, there's two chats here I have to keep track of. We're having such an engaging conversation about art school. No, I'm looking, yeah, DK, I'm looking at it right now. Jay, you're also from Ohio? That's cool. No, I'm not doing virtual plein air. Uh, I get bored. I like to bounce around. I like to try different things. see what people are into. So I'll happily do more virtual plein air. I mean, that's comfort zone. But so is this for me. Would I make a video on Photoshop tips? That kind of stuff, maybe I would do more for Gumroad. And I have some things planned for Gumroad. I want to do a lot more with Gumroad, but like to get more specific on things if people are curious about specifics. I think Photoshop tips and stuff may not, I don't know, may not be something I do a whole lot. Maybe I'll explain some things on the stream here a little bit, but I want mainly YouTube stuff to be like process oriented, and then like Gumroad would be more absolutely specific, step by step, real time kind of stuff. But I will have that coming soon. It's just I need more time. I'm taking a break from editing videos right now. Frozen Pizza asks, what's my favorite artist? Oh my god, don't ask that question. Next question. Yeah, get out of Ohio. Who needs to be in Ohio? Just get out. Don't need to be there. No, Ohio's fine. It's fine. You'll live. There are worse states than Ohio. Yeah, a lot of the stuff that I do, I don't really have a whole lot of tricks. I guess like the quote-unquote tricks come about when I do you know, really big illustration or environment painting, and the stuff I do here on the streams, or even the stuff I do on YouTube, like the daily sketch stuff, is very, very simple, very, very watered down process, and I'm actually purposely trying to limit the amount of tricks that I would do, that I would normally do, like for work stuff. Trying to keep it away from my personal work. I'm trying to, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I want to keep like my personal work pure in a way. Oh, that's terrible, pretentious. But just like, I would do this thing if I'm doing like a big painting where I would constantly do different blending layers, you know, dodge, multiply, levels, curves, color balance, and just like, oh my god. And it just gets out of hand, and it loses some of that feeling that I had maybe in a sketch phase. And I want my sketches to be more finished. I don't know. I'm doing a horrible job explaining this. I'm trying to just strip away all those Photoshop techniques and just paint directly, and just do it the right color, the right value at the first try. And then if I need to fix it, I'll paint over it. I'll just redo it. And just trying to strip like the digital tendencies away from my digital work. So that's kind of my, I guess, this sort of the spirit of my personal work is kind of moving toward, I want to move towards that more than anything. Because at work, you know, I'm always, I'm doing all the tricks, all the shortcuts, anything it takes to get the image done. So, yeah, I don't know, that probably doesn't make sense. So, and actually I'm doing this because I'm learning a lot too. Like, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do as well through all this. So thank you for being patient. Because like my tendency would be to get a photo texture for this stuff, right? But I'm trying to just paint everything and learn. And can I just do it right the first time? Or not even really the first time, but just can I put it down with efficient brush strokes, or I don't know, mix the right color the first time and not have to rely on tricks? Can I learn how to actually paint that texture rather than using a photo? What was I talking about? I don't know. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff. So all that real technical Photoshop stuff, I do want to talk about it in the form of a Gumroad, in the form of a more finished, kind of like concept arty painting. Do you think there were times when you just couldn't draw things that just needed to learn more theory? Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the thing now. It's like as I'm doing this, I'm kind of like finding out like, okay, all right, I have a problem with figures. I have problem specifically with figures in the legs. I have problems with that, or I have problems with fabric folds. Right, that's tricky, right? So then maybe on my off time, I'll just as studies, I'll just paint more figures. I'll focus on the legs. I'll do studies of fabric folds, and if I paint it enough, I draw it enough, I think eventually it'll just become muscle memory. And the thing that I was afraid of, the thing that I was kind of like worried about, it has become like a muscle memory for me. So I think by going through this exercise, I'm finding things I need to work on, right? Looks like you guys are talking about some technical Photoshop stuff right now. Tyler, thank you so much for joining. I will see you next time. Yes, please stop by in the future. What am I doing? See, it's like this, you know. I was getting stiff here on this shoulder strap. And it looks so out of place. But now it's so much better. Just paint over it. Oh, he's so tiny on the page. Alright, so I'll do a little bit more on the lighting, and maybe I'll start blocking on a new character. Yeah, Josh, that's true. I mean, as long as, you know, if you're doing personal work, right? That's I I've had to learn that it is better just to scrap it and retry it, or just paint over that part of the painting and just repaint it. Because if you try to save what's there before, it just often looks stiff, right? Um, and then do you really actually learn from the mistake? You know, I don't know. And oftentimes, as painful as it is, just repaint the thing over again, the same thing over again. The second time you paint it, you do it with more confidence. It looks better. It's the right color, right? You already know in your head what you want because you've already painted it. But the second time you paint it, it's just so much better. It's so much easier, so much faster. So I think like that's something artists, I think that's an underrated thing that artists don't think about is, you know, try doing the same painting twice, or try doing the same image twice. You might have some interesting results, and you might learn something new. Oh, this peg leg is out of perspective. When it comes to characters in me, it's like I just draw it bad, but then like as I'm going, I'm fixing things. And I think the important thing is as long as you fix it, then it's okay. If you don't fix it, then it's still bad. It's still wrong. And that's the hard thing, right? Is acknowledging that it's off. Yeah, this loin piece is a little off. Here's what I'll do. I should have flipped this much earlier. Should be more like this. See, why couldn't I get it right the first time? That's okay. Warp is here. I'll just erase around. Paint out some of this. Yeah, like I feel like you use Photoshop quote-unquote tricks whenever you paint something wrong. Whenever you're correcting a mistake, that's when the tricks come in. So if you rely on tricks, then you're always going to be painting something quote-unquote wrong. That's a very simplistic way to think about it, but that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. DK, are there links allowed? I suppose you can put links in there. As long as it's not something nasty. Hasn't been a problem yet, so go ahead. You wanted to ask how I would tackle a landscape. There's many ways. Maybe next week I'll do that. I'll just do like a proper, what you would expect landscape. Well, I tackle landscapes very similar to the way I tackle anything else, right? Everything's a graphic design problem at the start. Like for this guy, he's just a big rectangle. Sorry, that's like a mind twister to like work on a character and then talk about environments. I'm sorry, I don't really have the mental capacity for it. I think the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild fan piece video I made does a pretty good job explaining my thought process on how I start. But that I don't always start that way. That's just like that particular one when I have no idea in mind. That's kind of how I go about it. And then the new video I'll post up later. New painting process video. I talk about a completely different process. In fact, like all the videos that I've put up, I think were each and every one is a slightly different process. Like no two are the same process. Maybe the virtual plein air ones are the same process. If you want to watch those, but yeah, if you just go to the YouTube, my YouTube, I definitely go through landscape process quite a bit in those. How does Paint Tool SAI, S-A-I, compare to Photoshop? Thing is, I've never used Paint Tool, so I don't really know. I bet it's not as good as Photoshop. Just saying. Although I would love for Adobe to have some legit competitors. And Procreate's pretty cool. I think that's a really good tool. I think that's like actually the closest thing on the tablet. I used Painter. I mean, I experimented with Painter, but again, I don't like it as much as I like Photoshop. Yeah, Josh. Yeah, I mean, good luck with that. You could always find time to dive headfirst into some artwork. Just don't eat. Don't sleep. You lost your color picker. Maybe hit tab. That hides the windows. Or you can go to Window, Color. Oh, you're talking about your eyedropper tool? Yep. You can hit Alt. Don't worry, Josh is here. He'll tell you how to do it. I can just focus on the painting. Oh, DK, you're doing virtual plein air. Right on, man. There's just so many rocks. You know what? The rocks aren't so scary. If you think of the rocks as one solid shape, right? If you kind of blur your eyes and look at it, really all these rocks are just one solid shape. And then where there's shadows in between the rocks, you can paint in with just line. So block it in as a shape and then just paint the shadows in separate. Think of it like that. See if you can paint all those rocks with 3 values, 2 values, 2 colors. And really kind of, again, blur your eyes and just, you don't have to paint in every single crack, just the ones that matter. Yeah, that was, oh man, look how bad that was. This is the only reason why I would keep layers around, just so I could see how off I was. I kind of want to be a little bit more 3/4 with his head turned slightly. Yeah, that was pretty awful. Alright. I'm feeling myself tighten up a little bit, so I'm going to just move on to another one. Or maybe I could keep him on the page somehow. Nah. Just start with a new one. So I'll just pick the same brush I've been using. I usually, what I'll do is, you probably see this in some of the videos and stuff, is just, I make a little mark that's like, at like 20% dark, or somewhere between 15 and 20% black here. And that way, if I want my darkest dark, I just sample the little swatch that I made in the corner. I don't want things to go to pure black, right? I don't want pure black. I just want something that's a little bit off that. And then if I want my brightest bright, of course I could just select the background, so that's easy. And then here I just kind of have a light touch and I can block out different shapes. And that's usually how I start my characters. Not much more complicated than that. Mo! How you doing? It's like you're back at Micah. Oh, I was just talking some mad shit about Micah a second ago. You could have joined in. Did that help, DK? I hope that helps. Good luck with that, man. Just keep it simple. Pretend you're an idiot, and you need to keep things very, very simple. That's what I do. I can't hold too many thoughts in my brain at the same time, so... I don't know what I'm doing right now. Ah! Please repeat. I was just saying that I would recommend people to not go to art school. That's it. Because it's expensive. And with all the resources that we got today, you could do so much better. And I was just saying I didn't really have those resources at the time when I was in school. Oh boy, this is not... Who's Chef Aramaki? Aramaki from Ghost in the Shell. Oh man. I don't know. Sorry. Oh, you only have 16 grand left in loans? That's nothing. That's not bad. You can do that. I actually just finished paying off my student loans last year. You can do it. I'm sorry Micah was so disappointing. I know. Ugh. I miss you too. It was so fun. wanted to give him a big belly, but I don't know. Well, thank you. I'm glad to have been a highlight. It was good having you around as a TA. It's a tough job. Someone's got to do it. See, I didn't play Wind Waker either. I'm just the worst. I want to look at... I want to look at some Viking stuff. There we go. Vikings, the TV show. I don't really like his head tilted that way. Oh, what am I doing? New layer. We'll do safe strats. Safety strats. Is it better to watch this on Twitch? I don't know. Apparently I'm ignoring Twitch chat. So maybe not. Dat Chin, yep, that's right. I haven't played Wind Waker, no. Yeah. I missed that boat. No pun intended. I know you're on a boat in that game. No, literally the last Zelda that I've ever played was Majora's Mask. On the Nintendo 64. That's right. Yeah, I like that Vikings TV show. I like the way it looked. I like their armor. Stuff like that. I don't know about this face. His face is messed up. There's a fist in that beard, that's right. You're damn right. I wanted to make like a Loki from a Loki kind of character from the Vikings show. Something like that archetype, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, my videos are all in real time. Even the shorter ones are all in real time. I'm just that fast. Oh boy, this head. Let's collapse that. Oh, I didn't realize Emperor Zensekai, is that your name? That you were at CGMA. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I do see your name pop up here and there, but it's a different name than your real name, right? So I didn't really get that. Wait, you got a C? I didn't give you a C. What are you talking about? You never received a C from me. That's not true. Okay. So you were in my class right before I left. Okay. Well, that's good. You got in there before I left. Oh, it was a midterm C. Well, okay. That makes sense. But not a final grade. I think grades were like the dumbest thing. I think grades in art school were the dumbest. The dumbest thing ever. Absolutely. Oh, it doesn't. What? It haunts you? I didn't really know it had that bad of an effect. I think like when I was doing those, the grades were, especially a midterm, were kind of just meant to not scare you, but just motivate you a little bit. People that I thought were good and were not trying as hard as I thought they could. That's kind of what the C meant. Because I think grades are so stupid, I kind of use them to motivate some people. Apparently I did it to you. I don't even remember. Because I probably thought you were good and you had a lot of potential, but just didn't do enough or something. I don't know. I'm sorry that it haunts you though. That's terrible. I'm so mean. It's taken me a while, but I'm sort of started off in a really awkward place with this character. I'm trying to work it back. There was a certain feeling I wanted out of him, so I pushed things really, really far. And now I'm dialing it back a little bit. Or it's a spectacular failure. And that's the more exciting thing. Oh, you watched this video by the lighting guy from CGMA? Hey, Mark Panchum. How are you doing? Good to see your name pop up. I don't know what he's holding. I don't know a lot of things about what's going on with this. But this one is like, it was pretty clear. Because I kind of had that idea brewing. This is like, I don't know. We're figuring things out here. That's the way it is sometimes. Oh, thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. Anytime. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Hope everything's going well with you. It's just a big TA reunion. How do you get people in a class like that? What do you, Jay? What are you referring to? What class? What? Huh? They're probably talking about Micah. Micah's an art school in Maryland that I used to teach at, and somebody here was in my CGMA class as well, and that's an online class. How long have I been going? I've been going for a while, haven't I? I should probably, let me get this somewhere, just at least somewhere, and then I'll probably call it. Yeah, I did teach an online class. I taught with CGMA. I'm not currently, but I did. How do I grade people in like an art class? Hmm, that's tricky. I guess as long as people put in an effort, they could get a good grade, like an A. You know, it was mainly based on effort, I would say. And then there's also I kind of factor in like people's potential or people's kind of what I would expect from somebody like that. If they were, I'd say, exceptionally good already naturally, you know, like I had some students that were very good, you know, very very good, and they could probably just crap out the homework, and it would still look above and beyond their other students, the other students in the class. But the thing is like they're not growing personally, and I can see that. And yes, they're probably compared to the other students, they're probably very good, but compared to what's out there, they're not. Like, you know, compared to other professionals. And I started comparing them to professionals and try to get them in the mindset of being compared to other professionals, especially if they were like a senior. So then I would scare them and give them a C in their midterm. And they would, I don't know, it was different depending on the student, because some people really responded very deeply about their grade, and I couldn't do anything like scare them because they'd be so broken, you know. These are people that are probably have never heard much criticism about their artwork, and you can tell those kinds of people. And there's people that I know that can handle it. So it just depends. Yeah, like Mo. I trolled her. Well, I don't know that I would just do it out of nowhere. Like if Mo really was giving it, I don't know. It's tricky. I don't even remember like totally what I was thinking at the time. So it must have been something like that. Something like trolling. Sorry. Yeah, grading is very like at CGMA there's no grades, so I really appreciated that. Like you do the work, you get the feedback. Your grade is whatever you feel you've learned at the end, and I think that's the way it should be. It's not quantifiable like math class. It's not about how many questions you got wrong. It's about like, did you even ask the questions? Or did you even try to answer your own questions? I don't know. It's something like that. So I was very much against it. I even complained about it when I was teaching at the art school. And they gave me like these weird guidelines about how I should grade, and I found them to be really offensive to the students. And then some people I would just give them a good grade just because I don't know, they got what they got out of the class. Maybe they're not particularly good at drawing or painting, and they will probably never do it beyond this. But hey, they tried. they put an effort in there, and they got something out of it. And that's all that matters, and hey, guess what? You get an A. I don't know. And like, nobody cares about your grades when you look for a job, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you got a C. Yeah, I don't remember. It was, the guidelines were really dumb. Just like, who cares? What's a good method for improving your anatomy and characters? Just doing a lot of anatomy studies, looking up. I think it's important to have good reference. Like I had some reference of muscular fat guys when I was doing the other character. And sometimes you just forget how certain things look or how they should look, and having reference up all the time is good for that. I always have to use reference for, not always. I mean, I could make stuff up, but it's always going to look better if I've got reference. And then I'll run into trouble like I often do, and then I avoid looking at reference because I'm lazy, and then eventually I do, and I'm like, oh, why didn't I just do that sooner? It would have looked better. So it's like that. Just look up good reference. Take your figure drawing classes if you can. I'm sure you've heard all these things before. It's all good advice. Alright, now I'm getting too tense. I need to loosen up here. Let's see. This guy, he's got a big hammer. How about that? It's a big stupid hammer. Because he's like the Loki character. Only Scottish. Maybe I'll make him more Scottish. I don't know. Yeah, he looks like he's about to beat a dude with a candlestick. Well, now it's a hammer. It looks like he's gonna beat a dude with a hammer. Yeah, I wanted to give him the crazy eyes. Mark is right. Yeah, reference does help build your visual library, and it's good to do a lot of studies as you're working on a piece. That way the thing is, like, do a study but really be conscious of what you're painting, of what you're actually trying to study, so that you do remember it later. Just not sure what kind of armor I should give him. You know? Some sort of vest, maybe? He probably doesn't need much armor. He's just crazy. Yep, level 1 armor. In Skyrim, just like bandit armor or something. Yeah, Jay, taking a character to color. If you watch my first stream that I did on Twitch, I actually do that. I do a character in black and white, and then I go all the way to color, and I put a background on it, and all that, and a little bow on it. So you can watch that one. No one was in the chat, so I wasn't really talking a whole lot. But yeah, that exists. If you want to see me do that. I probably could do that in this, but I'm so too busy like talking and looking at the chat just to focus. So I gotta work a lot slower when I'm streaming. But it's fun, it's all good, I like doing it. Where are my, what are my brushes these days? So I have a Gumroad with all of my brushes on there. Links are around for that. It's a free Gumroad. It has my brushes on there in a video. That's kind of the latest set. I don't know how much similarity would be between the old set that I must have given you and what I use now. I don't know, actually. What is Gumroad? Oh no! Mo, don't tell me. Don't say that. Yeah, my ArtStation, there is a link there. There's also links on all my YouTube videos. There's links on my Twitch channel. It's just everywhere. Oh, Gumroad is great. It's a place where, you know, people can upload their own tutorials. There's a lot of artists that have Gumroad videos. I hope you're joking. Hey, what's on layer 1? Let me collapse that because we don't need that anymore. Let's look how ugly it was before. Oh, it's so hideous. Layer 1 was the first thing that I did on the stream. And layer 2 is my second thing. That took me a while to get there. I don't know if I'm there yet. I really want to give him some skinny arms. Maybe he's got a giant nail in the other hand. A giant hammer. This hammer is not giant enough. It's a sad hammer. There we go. Hiccup's dad. I think I was even saying that while I was doing that character. I was like, there's literally no way you can do it without making it look like How to Train Your Dragon. Why do I even try? Whatever. That's what I'm going for. That's what I should have said. Better to be the hammer than the nail. I'm assuming you guys knew each other, right? Mark and Mo? You guys knew each other, right? I don't think I've ever seen you guys in the same room at the same time, but you had to have known each other. Huh. Put some lighting on this guy. His face is not grumpy enough. Or crazy enough. I want to give him like a Waluigi mustache. Now that is some crazy stuff. That's my favorite part, is like shaping the beard. That's kind of half the reason why I'm doing these characters. It's because of the beard. I want to give him the Loki face paint. This stream has just turned into like a reunion / memories. What? You didn't do a good job? What? How do you not do a good job being TA? You were fine. I think every TA I had has been great. There's like very little to do in the job. I don't think I had a single TA that was bad. It was all good. Yeah, you sit in the corner. That's what you do. You work on other stuff. I think Mark was the first TA I ever had. I'm pretty sure. So maybe I fronted like I had more expectations for my TA because I just never had one before. But honestly, it really didn't matter. Oh yeah, the Firaxis teachers were really great. Aaron and Piero. Yeah, good friends. I miss those guys actually. I used to hang out with them a lot back when I lived in Maryland. And Aaron, especially Aaron, was really good artist. I still would take a class if Aaron taught one. If he actually taught a class right now. Guy is really good. I forced him to come in and do demos for selfish reasons. I just wanted to see him do a demo. Yeah, Aaron doesn't really share much online. That's a shame, because I would like to see what he's doing too. Again, for selfish reasons. But he has, like, Aaron has this whole fine arts career on the side. He's like showing, he was always showing at like awesome galleries for his oil paintings. And I think he just never wanted to conflate the two, like his concept artwork and his fine artwork. Alright, I'm gonna try to finish this guy up. What do you say? Oh, Daniel Kroll. I heard a lot about him. I never met him before, so I don't know. Cold-hearted honesty. Okay, that's sure. I told you that all digital painters in the class just had to give up on school and save money because we would never do the same thing all the time. Okay. I think this guy should probably be more... his feet should be spread out the other way. I kind of had him a little bit pigeon-toed. Oh god, I haven't flipped in a while. I guess that's not terrible. Here's a tip I'm going to use liquify tool to correct my flaws. It's a good easy way to sort of push some forms or correct some forms. To exaggerate. I don't care if it gets a little wonky sometimes when I use liquify. That's okay, I'll correct it, the wonkiness. As long as it's mostly where I want it to be. Okay. And you can kind of see where it was and where it is. I think he's sufficiently crazy looking enough. Alright, I'm gonna get going. Thank you guys so much for joining in. This went way longer than I thought it would, but let me do the characters. These two. Get rid of my swatches. Let's see. Oh. They could be friends. Although I think one guy is Scottish. Maybe I should have painted them together. Off to do a million studies. Have fun with that. Thank you guys for joining me. I really do appreciate it. This went on a little long. I'll keep it short next time. Okay guys, see you next time.